Hello, I'm Carla Billingsley, author of the Uneek Boxy Tee pattern, and the purpose of this video is to show you how to use a Google sheet that I have set up that I will be sharing with you in order to very easily adapt this pattern to any gauge so that you can use it for any yarn or so that you can use it even if you have trouble matching the gauge that I got to knit the yarn. Because it's boxy, meaning that it's all straight lines. This is very easy to do. So on the left, I have a picture of the T pattern. I'm going to scroll down now to where it tells you what the gauge is. On the right-hand side of my screen, I have open a Google sheet called Basic Knitters Calcs, and I'm going to give you a link to it. When you link to this, it's going to say, you notice here it says view only. That's because I have it set up so that nobody can change it, our master copy, because if they did that, it could break it. So instead, what you're going to have to do is the very first thing you're going to do when you get here is you are going to go to File, click on the File menu up there right under where it says Basic Knitter Calcs, and say Make a Copy, and I'm going to call it My Copy of Basic Knitter Calcs. And this will make a copy. Now Google Sheets is free, so anybody can do it. So basically now you have your own copy and you can edit it. Now down at the bottom there are two tabs here. This first one that it opens on, scarves and afghans, you can ignore that. We're going to go over to pattern adjustment. See, my cursor is down at the bottom of the screen where it says pattern adjustment. I'm going to click on that. And then this brings up this this screen. So what you need to do is, first of all, look to see what the pattern gauge is. If you look here, it says 22 stitches by 34 rows equals 4 inches. So 22 stitches, that's actually already in there, and 34 rows. So that's the pattern gauge. Now, here you enter your gauge. So say you're using a worsted weight yarn and you're getting 20 stitches by 20 stitches by 28 rows. Over here, this green, this color green in a cell here indicates that this is something calculated, not something that you fill in. It's telling you this is a multiplier that the spreadsheet is using to calculate stitches and rows. You can look at it if you want to figure out what the math is behind it, or you can just go the very simple route of just filling in the blanks. So down here at the bottom where it says pattern says to cast on 40 stitches, you would cast on 36.36. Well, you're going to have to round that. For a pattern like this, the best idea is usually to round it to be either depending on if it's an even number, round it to the nearest even number. If it's an odd number, round it to the nearest odd number. Or it's often better to round up if you're talking about a pattern, because a quarter inch too big is much better than a quarter inch too small. But that depends on the pattern. So basically, now let's go down to where the pattern says cast on 51, 51, 57. Say you're doing the one where you cast on 57 stitches. I'll put 57 in there. It changes it to 51.82, which rounds up to 52. However, it's an odd number, and that is important because for the seed stitch pattern, you need to have an odd number. So I would round it up to 53. One little stitch isn't going to make that much difference. It doesn't actually, this one doesn't count the rows so much. But if it said how many, so let's see, it says you knit the first part. It's all measured in inches, so you don't need to really pay attention to the row counts on this one. So it's all about the stitches. So now when you go, so you basically cast on 53 stitches, what the spreadsheet tells you to do, and then you keep on knitting until it is 18 and a half or 19, or however long it tells you to be, it tells you it should be, and then you go to the next piece. It's the same, it's actually the same cast on. And then the next part where it tells you how many stitches to pick up. If you so if you're knitting the third size, it says pick up 113 stitches. So I'm going to put 113 in here, and that brings you to 102.73, so that you round it up to 103. So instead of picking up 113 stitches, you'll pick up 103. So basically, you can use this spreadsheet. Every time it tells you how many stitches to do something, you use this spreadsheet to translate from the pattern gauge to your gauge, and it will tell you how many stitches to adjust. So how easy is that? I hope this has helped. This is helpful. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me at Quixotic Fibers. You can call the store or send me an email at carla@quixoticfibers.com. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.